welcome to highlights of the 1991 Canadian Grand Prix, brought to you by Microprose and GP2Joey. It's round 5 of the season, and we're in the glorious city of Montreal and the majestic Circuit de Gilles Villeneuve, named after Canada's most famous racing son. McLaren's Alain Prost was the winner last time out in Monaco in what was a controversial race, and the 4-time champion leads the drivers' standings ahead of Nigel Mansell and teammate Joey Davies, with defending champ Ayrton Senna in 4th, and it's McLaren-Honda who sit on top of the constructors' championship, 13 points ahead of nearest challengers Williams-Renault. The news leading up to Canada was all about the clash between Davies and Mansell in Monte Carlo, which resulted in the former being found guilty of dangerous driving and earning himself a back-of-the-grid penalty for this weekend, whilst Mansell pushed the governing body to further ban Davies from a race or two. All of this incensed McLaren boss Ron Dennis, who slammed the FIA for the penalty given to his driver, and elsewhere Williams said that they were still backing Mansell's teammate Jean Alain to overcome his poor start to the season. News then broke that after their poor start to the year, Ferrari had sensationally fired team manager Cesare Fiorio and replaced him with senior engineer Claudio Lombardi, a move which didn't go down too well with star driver Senna, who publicly questioned the political move. Friday morning's pre-qualifying session was simply sensational, and one of the closest so far this year, with many drivers fighting to find vital fractions of a second to ensure their respective teams were able to progress further into the weekend. In the end though, the Minardis of Pierluigi Martini and Gianni Morbidelli ran out the fastest, and they were joined sensationally by the Brabham pair of Damon Hill and Mark Blundell, and the lowly Modena team finally managed to earn themselves a place after superb performances from Eric van der Poel and Roberto Moreno, whilst the other teams were forced to pack up their transporters early and head home. Despite his grid penalty, Davies was battling to find a decent setup in qualifying and found himself blocked by the Jordan of Andrea De Cesaris on Friday morning, the McLaren sustaining damage to the front end. Meantime, Alain battled as hard as ever, with the young Frenchman keen to have a clean weekend after 2 crashes in the first 4 races and relieve some of the pressure that is undoubtedly building on his shoulders. Championship leader Prost was his usual wily self as he worked on race setup and continuously improved his lap times, but it was Senna who ran out the fastest in Friday's session, and the Brazilian went even quicker on Saturday. The updated chassis and engine package working wonders for the team as the defending champ strolled to his second pole position of the year ahead of American teammate Michael Andretti, who was an impressive second, with Prost third, whilst at the back it was the unfortunate Blundell and Moreno who failed to qualify. After qualifying, a delighted Senna said he was hopeful the car upgrades included reliability, as he hoped to finish for only the second time this year, and Davies confirmed his sole focus was on getting to the podium from 26 on the grid, and later Renault's chief Bernard Dudot declared he wanted Prost to be using his engines in 1992. So it's the Ferrari pair of Ayrton Senna and Michael Andretti on the front row, with Prost and Jean Alain on row 2. Row 3 is Mansell and Herbert. Row 4 is Brundle and Warwick. Row 5 is Piquet and Berger. Row 6 is Patrese and Nakajima. Row 7 is Boutsen and Modena. Row 8 is Martini and Comas. Row 9 is Morbidelli and Bertrand Gachot. Row 10 is Andrea De Cesaris and Eric van der Poel. Row 11 is Mika Hakkinen and Martin Donnelly. Row 12 is Maurizio Gugelmin and Ivan Capelli. And at the back it's Damon Hill and Joey Davies. The revs are up as the red lights come on, and the Canadian Grand Prix is go, go, go! Prost is away well in the McLaren, but look at the 2 Ferraris of Senna and Andretti as they run down towards the first turn. It's Senna and Andretti ahead, and that's a Williams, that's Mansell, Nigel Mansell, and that's Davies. My goodness me, Joey Davies has lost his McLaren under braking for turn 1. He's clouted into what I think was one of the Minardis, and the Briton is out. But back up front it's Senna, ahead of Andretti with Mansell in 3rd. Alain is in 4th place, but he's under attack from Alain Prost. And it's Brundle in 6th place with Herbert 7th, and Andretti pulls out from behind Ayrton Senna. Prost's in the background on Alain, and Andretti takes the lead. Fantastic stuff. It's Michael Andretti in the lead of the Canadian Grand Prix. With Senna in 2nd, Mansell's 3rd, it's Prost in 4th, Alain 5th. Martin Brundle's in 6th place with teammate his footwork teammate Johnny Herbert in 7th. Then it's the Benetton of Derek Warwick, the Joas Porsche of Riccardo Patrese. And in 10th position, it's the other Benetton of Nelson Piquet. As they come through the turns 14 and 15, it's Andretti now with a 1 second lead over Senna, with Mansell 1.5 seconds further back, with Prost 2 seconds further back as they come across the line for the very first time. Let's have a look at the replay from Davies.
Davies makes a very good start. He initially got away well, got a little bit of wheel spin, a little bit onto the grass there as he tries to take one of the Lotuses. That's Mika Hakkinen and one of the Modena. But then he suddenly loses the back end of the car, clouts into one of the Minardis, and he is out on the spot. So Joey Davies, his thoughts of getting onto the podium extinguished immediately.
And back up front, it's Prost. He's looking to make a move on Mansell. He's going to try and make it now as they go underneath the bridge. Is the McLaren going to find his way through? He does. Alain Prost is up into 3rd position now. Well, the Frenchman's really having a stellar 1991 season. After last year was an appalling one by his standards, with McLaren's reliability certainly under question. And Herbert's looking to try and get past his teammate Brundle, but he can't do it at the hairpin. Derek Warwick is still in 8th place with Piquet up to 9th. He's passed Riccardo Patrese, who we believe has just lost a position to the Tyrrell of Satoru Nakajima. But up front, Andretti's got a 1.7 second lead over Senna. And the updated Ferrari package is certainly not working well here today. But Prost is certainly going to be trying to close the gap on Senna as Andretti's across the line. It's a 1 minute 20.018 seconds. It's a good lap from the American. And Herbert's looking to try and get past Martin Brundle once more, but he can't do it into the first turn. And Warwick's lost the Benetton. And he's hit. He's clouted his teammate Piquet. My goodness. What happened there? I think he just went a little bit too fast. The circuit is still a little bit damp from the rain that was on earlier this morning. And I think that was on, just before the start of the race, but I think that the Benetton just simply lost a bit of traction. And they're still coming together. My goodness me, what's happening there? Warwick's managed to rejoin the circuit, but Piquet's down in 23rd and last. But Senna, he's trying to close the gap on Andretti, but he can't do anything about his American teammate, who is 2.5 seconds up the road now with Prost. But Alain Prost is into 2nd place. Prost's into 2nd. My goodness, well, I don't think we've seen what happened there. But Prost is up into 2nd position now. Senna's dropped to 3rd with Mansell in 4th, with Alain 5th and Herbert in 6th place. And that's Martin Brundle going off at the first turn. He's lost it in the footwork. So Brundle, who was in 6th position, he lost the position to Johnny Herbert. But now Brundle's just got to park his car there and wait for all the other traffic to move out of the way. That's a terrible opportunity for Brundle, lost.
And there's Derek Warwick trying to get past one of the Jordans. I think that's Andrea De Cesaris. Warwick just streams his way through, but Senna into the final chicane as Alain Prost is into the pits for the first time.
Prost into the pits. He's going to drop back from 2nd position. Senna goes into 2nd, and Mansell's going to go 3rd. And there's Michael Andretti, and Sean Alesi's off. My goodness, Sean Alesi's lost the back end of the Williams, and he's crashed out for the 3rd time this year in 5 races. What a season the young Frenchman is having. Alesi is out. My goodness. Mika Hakkinen in 21st in the Lotus. He's actually performed very well. I think he could very well be a star of the future, but Gerhard Berger is up into 7th. And that's Michael Andretti out. The Ferrari, they hoped there was going to be reliability, but sadly it's not to be for the American, who's lost the lead, and he is out of the race as Nelson Piquet comes into the pits. It's Senna now in the lead, with Mansell in 2nd, it's Herbert in 3rd, and Alain Prost in 4th place. Gerhard Berger's going to move up into 5th. And there's Alain Prost, and I think he's had a moment at the hairpin. Alain Prost has had a moment at the hairpin, but he's managed to keep the car going. Fantastic race so far.
This is quite extraordinary with drivers. Obviously the circuit is still a little bit damp. The tyres are not up to temperature. It's a very cold day today, and they are obviously losing a lot of grip. But Alain Prost, and that's a Williams got off.
And that's Mansell. Nigel Mansell's lost it. My God, he's just about spun the car, and is he going to get collected by the Lotus of Hakkinen? He's not. I think the Lotus had to get out of the power there, so did Maurizio Gugelmin in the Leighton house. But Nigel Mansell's gone off at the same point that his teammate Alesi went off. But the difference is that Mansell kept it out of the wall, relatively speaking, and he is able to continue, and Prost is attacking Herbert's footwork for 2nd place. They're 17 seconds behind Ayrton Senna. Both men have stopped already. Senna is yet to make his stop for tyres. We think the Ferrari are only going to be stopping once for tyres, but both the footwork and the McLaren, as Prost goes through, they're going to be stopping at least twice today. And Martini's up into 6th place as Nigel Mansell passes a back marker. We're not sure who it is, but he's through and he's across the line. So it's Nigel Mansell in 4th place now, but he's 34 seconds behind the race leader Ayrton Senna. And look at Stefano Modena in 10th place, and Mansell almost loses it again. He almost loses it. He manages to keep the car in one piece.
Senna coming up to underneath the bridge now. He's got a 16-second gap over Alain Prost. Prost is certainly going to be pushing his McLaren for all that it's worth to try and close that gap to Senna, because he's going to lose roughly 20 to 26 seconds in the pits, and Prost is going to have to stop again, and he's going to have to really try and build the gap.
And that's Thierry Boutsen off. Boutsen's got off. I think that's at turn 5 and 6. He's got off as Mansell goes through in the Williams. Is Boutsen going to be able to keep the car going? I think he's kept the engine running as one of the two Jordans go through. The Jordans are certainly performing very well. And look at this! That's Warwick, Patrese and Martin Brundle all battling for position. That's all over 5th place. Fantastic racing going on here as Alain Prost is in 2nd place. He's 15.4 seconds to the good over Ayrton Senna. But I think that Senna's going to have to come into the pits pretty shortly as Piquet's up into 10th place now. But again, Piquet has been outperformed by his teammate Derek Warwick as Johnny Herbert comes into the pits. And so too is Ivan Capelli in the Leighton house, with Berger, Brundle and Warwick still battling over 5th place. It's Patrese in 9th, Piquet's in 10th, and the Brazilian, he's definitely going to be trying to push as much as he can as Senna in 1st place has just lapped one of the Minardis, and he's coming up to lap Riccardo Patrese as well.
Well, Senna's in a very good position here. He's 15 seconds lead over Alain Prost, and he's certainly going to be trying to see if he can build that gap up once he makes his pit stop, whenever that's going to be. As Andrea De Cesaris and Senna's into the pits. Senna into the pits from the lead, and we watch the two Jordans of Andrea De Cesaris and Bertrand Gachot desperately trying to close up the gap to Eric van der Poel in the Modena, with Johnny Herbert in the foreground.
And that's Martin Brundle. Sorry, it's Martin Brundle who's trying to get through there, but it's Prost in the lead now, and he's 12.3 seconds to the good. And I think that Senna, we're hearing Ayrton Senna had a problem in the pits, which has gone unnoticed by the TV cameras as Mansell comes in. But Senna had a problem with his pits. We understand it was the right front wheel. It wouldn't go on. So Ayrton Senna has lost a lot of ground to Alain Prost. He's 12.3 seconds behind the Frenchman. And he's desperately going to try and close the gap up now with Mansell in 4th place. It's Herbert in 3rd as Derek Warwick comes into the pits in the Benetton. And Riccardo Patrese, he's battling Nelson Piquet and Martin Brundle as much as he can, with Pierluigi Martini in 10th place. And Patrese's into the pits. And there's Alain Prost in the lead now. He's 22.6 seconds. And Senna's got up at the final chicane. I'm not sure what happened to the Brazilian. I think he may very well have just been trying to push the Ferrari too much. But Senna is now over 27 seconds behind Prost. And that means to say that if Prost can get a clean pit stop when he makes his 2nd stop, he will emerge in the lead of this race. Fantastic development. And there's Johnny Herbert, another stellar drive from the Englishman in 3rd place. Mansell's in 4th place still, with Gerhard Berger up into 5th place.
Fantastic performance from Johnny Herbert. He's really impressed me this year, and I think it would be a crying shame if he's not in a top car for next season, because certainly Footwork have lost their way as Maurizio Gugelmin goes off right in front of Ayrton Senna, and Senna's hit him, and Senna's lost part of his front wing.
Gerhard Berger's into the pits for his 2nd stop, and my goodness, Gugelmin has been hit by his countryman Ayrton Senna, and I think that Senna is now going to have to come into the pits yet again. As he goes, Pierluigi Martini unlaps himself, and there's Eric van der Poel in the glorious Modena, that Lamborghini. That is a stunning looking car, and it's great to see the Belgian in the race today, but he's going to be trying to close up to Gachot as much as he can. But Prost, now he's across the line. He's got a 33-second lead over Senna. It's Herbert still in 3rd place, but Mansell is catching. He's catching, and Senna is into the pits. And is that Herbert? Is that Brundle or Herbert?
It's Johnny Herbert.
Herbert's off. Herbert's got some sort of a technical failure on the approach, and he can't even make it into the pits. He's had to pull over because there are cars coming into the pits, and Johnny Herbert is out of yet another Grand Prix. A stellar drive has ended, and Herbert was in fourth, and he's now lost it. But his teammate Martin Brundle is up into fourth position, and that's Mansell in second place. But Mansell's going to have to stop again for new tyres. But Prost is still 56 seconds in the lead, and that's Martin Donnelly off in the Lotus.
Martin Donnelly is another driver that's certainly impressed this year. Obviously not at this moment, but he has certainly impressed this season with his tenacious driving, as he's now being caught by his teammate Mika Häkkinen. Not sure if he's going to have any damage on the Lotus, but Martin Donnelly is away again, and it's great to see the Ulsterman still in Formula 1 as Mansell looks to try and negotiate his way past Mika Häkkinen.
Mansell's through as Prost comes in to make his final stop. Is he going to be able to get out ahead of Mansell? I'm pretty sure that he will. And that's Gerhard Berger off at the final chicane. Has he had some sort of a technical issue, or has he also lost it? I think he's managed to keep the car going, but Berger has gone off as well in 7th place. Every driver is spinning left, right and centre, it would seem. All of them except Alain Prost, who continues serenely in the lead. 34.6 seconds lead over Nigel Mansell. But Senna is catching Mansell. He's less than 3 seconds behind. And the Brazilian is pushing as much as he dare after he had an earlier pit stop problem. And then he lost part of his front wing when he unfortunately hit the back end of Maurizio Gugelmin. Senna is absolutely charging now.
Certainly going to be seeing if he can close the gap on Nigel Mansell. And Derek Warwick, again, he's impressing in 5th position. And we've got 3 British drivers in the top 6. Fantastic day for Great Britain with PK into the pits.
And Eric van der Poel. Eric van der Poel's lost it. He's lost it. Has he managed to keep the Modena going? He does, as Patrese goes through in the Joas Porsche. And there's Mansell. And Senna's right behind Mansell. They're separated by less than half a second. We need to cut away from Van der Poel, and we need to see what's going on between Mansell and Senna. And there it is, Mansell, he's under attack, and Senna's going to try and make a move as they come underneath the bridge, and we've missed it again, and Mansell's lost the position. It's Prost ahead of Senna, ahead of Mansell, with Brundle in 4th place, Warwick still in 5th, and Patrese in 6th place. It's Pierluigi Martini in the Minardi in 7th, the Benetton of PK in 8th, the Tyrrell of Stefano Modena, and Andrea Di Cesaris in the Jordan. Impressively is 10th. And as I speak of the Italian, he's off at turn 2. Has he had some sort of a technical issue, or has Andrea Di Cesaris lived up to his nickname and just simply lost the back end of his car?
I absolutely have no idea why he is still in Formula 1. He's useless, absolutely useless. He's proven to have absolutely no self-assurance when he's driving those cars, as Nelson Piquet slips underneath Riccardo Patrese to take the final point-paying position for 6th place, as we see Ayrton Senna negotiating the final turns as he's over 41 seconds away from Alain Prost in the lead.
And Derek Warwick's going through turns 5 and 6 now, but Warwick in 5th. He will be certainly hoping that he's got some good reliability so that he can get a good bag of points today. But Nigel Mansell is now 7 seconds away from Senna. But he's going to be trying to close up the gap, but Senna, he's now... And Alain Prost has come into the pits. Prost has come in, we're hearing he's got some sort of a technical issue with the McLaren. Is he going to be able to come back out again? He's got a loose wheel. Prost's got a loose wheel, and he's had to make an unscheduled pit stop. But I'm pretty sure he's going to be able to emerge still in front of Ayrton Senna, and Senna's got the hurry up from the Ferrari pit wall.
Senna's going to be pushing as much as he can now as he goes through the Casino S's. He's chasing after Alain Prost now. He can sense a possible victory, but I think that Alain Prost has now exited the pits and he's back out on the circuit. But Senna, he's going to try and unlap him past the Jordan of Bertrand Gachot, who moves aside, and Senna almost screams into the back of him.
Fantastic driving from Senna. He almost got balked there, but he's through. And Martin Donnelly's off yet again in the Lotus. He's off. But Prost is still in the lead. He's 14.8 seconds ahead of Senna, with Mansell in 3rd place. And Derek Warwick, he's got some sort of a failure at the back. I think his engine's gone. His Ford engine has expired. And that is a shame for Derek Warwick, because he is now out of the race. Fantastic. That means that his teammate Nelson Piquet is going to be up into 6th, with Patrese in 7th, Martini in 8th, Modena in 9th, Thierry Boutsen in 10th in the Ligier. But Alain Prost is on the final lap now,
He's coming through the sweeping S's. He's round the left, the right, the left, the right again. He's onto the short straight, and on the approach to the final chicane. He's round the right-hander, he's around the left, and Alain Prost is across the line to win the 1991 Canadian Grand Prix. Fantastic performance from the Frenchman. What a drive. He made no mistakes today. And Ayrton Senna's through the final turn. Senna will just be relieved, no doubt, that he's had reliability, but he will be ruining the pit stop mistakes from the team as Mansell comes across the line. Senna's lost a possible win today. Mansell, he's dropped down the order, but he'll be pleased to be on the podium yet again as Eric van der Poel retires. But Alain Prost was simply untouchable today. What a performance from the four-time world champion.
So it was an incredible second win on the bounce for Alain Prost, and a third for the year so far, with Senna a disappointed second, Mansell a frustrated third, Brundle a relieved fourth, and Piquet fifth after a fine recovery drive, and Patrese sixth in a race that saw only 7 cars go the full distance. On the podium, Prost couldn't hide his delight after what was arguably his easiest win of the season, and Senna was left to rue his error midway through the race, and Ferrari's strategy, which he believed to have cost him a possible win. Mansell, meantime, was just angry that Williams had lost performance and he had lost ground to Prost in the drivers' standings, as the Frenchman now holds a 10-point lead over the Briton, with Senna moving into third ahead of Davies in fourth place. McLaren's lead in the constructors' standings is now out to 19 points over Williams, whilst Ferrari begin their fight back after what has been an appalling start to their year. We leave Canada now and head to the second North American race, where the informed Prost will be looking to get a hat-trick of wins in Mexico. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time for round 6 of the 1991 Formula 1 World Championship in Mexico City.